fast food and advertisements? Fast food when you get your order. It's Christmas time once again, the time when the snow is falling, Mariah Carey is filling the shopping malls, and the question on everyone's lips is...
Who in the blazes applied that emergency brake?
He did!
You!
For me, I have been highly anticipating this holiday season for one very special reason. Just that. A special. I have made it no secret that I love the movie The Bad Guys. Right when I first watched the trailer, I knew it would be a great film. It looked to be the Zootopia sequel I thought we'd never get. Well, look who decided to show up! And more or less, the film lived up to my hype with stellar animation, likable characters, and a plot, while cliché in some places, had enough of its own style to feel like it wasn't written on autopilot. It's an overall great return to form for DreamWorks, and it's a shame that it got buried under Puss in Boots 2. After seeing the movie, I was eager for any word on the follow-up, and I wouldn't have to wait long, as less than a year after The Bad Guys release, we received confirmation of a Bad Guys holiday special for the following year. I was pumped for the special, to the point that it was, no joke, my most anticipated release of the year. Super Mario Brothers? More like stupid Mario Brothers. Spider-Man? Yeah, why don't you go across the Spider-Verse to find someone who cares? It was all about a group of vigilante furries saving Christmas for me. And could you blame me? I mean, just look at the promotional art released alongside the announcement. It looks just like the movie. It will be amazing! It looks sort of like the movie. It will be great! It looks sort of like the movie. It will be good! It looked sort of like the movie. It could have been good! Yeah, this special has been met with a bit of disappointment by most people. But much like our protagonists, are there possibly any redeemable traits beneath the trash? There's only one way to find out, so get cozy by the fire and grab a guinea pig to snack on. You're watching the LionDog Show, and I'm watching The Bad Guys: A Very Bad Holiday. Before we delve into those minor details like story, themes, or character development, let's do the exact opposite of what The Bad Guys movie told me to do and judge this special based on its outward appearances. Once the trailer dropped, I put together that there are two types of DreamWorks holiday specials. There are the movie tie-ins with similar animation to the film and the film's returning cast that usually air on NBC, and then there are the TV show tie-ins with the show's presentation that release on Netflix. That makes this Bad Guy special an anomaly, as it falls into the latter category with the cheaper animation, the sound-alike cast, and the Netflix release, despite the fact that there is no Bad Guys TV show, even though there was a leaked casting call for one back in 2022. On Chili Chivi's review of this special, someone claiming to be an animator for A Very Bad Holiday said in the comments that a Bad Guy show is still in production and that the Christmas special was a last-minute decision, which honestly explains a lot when it comes to this special. We'll come back to this upcoming series in a moment. For now, let's actually discuss the presentation. When it comes to this special's animation, it isn't nearly as bad as I expected. The models are less polished and the movements are stiffer, but I got used to it within the first few minutes. It's like if The Bad Guys was a PS4 game that got ported to Switch. While it's not the worst and serviceable, the animation still doesn't fully replicate the feel or energy of the movie. For example, when Wolf talks to the audience in the film, I feel important. When Wolf talks to the audience in the special, I feel like there should be a Nick Jr. logo in the corner. Also, here's Wolf driving in the movie. Now here's him driving in the special. Voice casting, outside of Wolf and Snake, all of the returning characters sound noticeably different. Shark's voice actor sounds like he's trying way too hard to be Craig Robinson. While Piranha's singing is pretty good, when he's not singing, he just sounds like a Latino Johnny Test.
Why are you police officers?
I blew up Malaysia.
Miss Tarantula's voice truly impressed me. I can't believe that they made Webbs when she's not voiced by Awkwafina sound even more annoying than when she is voiced by Awkwafina.
Radio station stopped playing Christmas music and is broadcasting something called Down Tunes instead!
Out of all of the sound-alikes, the one that bugged me the most was surprisingly Tiffany Fluffit's. Her voice sounds noticeably older, which not only doesn't fit due to this being a prequel, but it also removes a lot of her established character. Her voice in the movie, coupled with her buck teeth and pride in being the first to report a story, told me that she was a rookie who wanted to prove herself to the world, fitting somewhat with the rest of the characters in the film sharing the same goal. In the special, she sounds like any other news reporter character, to the point where I thought her actress also voiced the DuckTales reporter. Translation? This artistic decision contradicted my headcanon, ergo it is objectively bad. Okay, that's enough asking what is the special. Let's be a bit more empathetic and ask, how is the special? If you need any more proof that this special is just a TV show episode, we have a title card in the first shot. One of two, actually. Oh, thank you, DreamWorks. I am so glad you took into consideration my serious short-term memory loss.
and I have serious short-term memory loss.
We start off with Mr. Wolf explaining the bad guys' tradition of robbing stores on Christmas since everyone takes the day off. We also learn from a news report that the citizens of the city have a very unhealthy relationship with a Santa balloon.
I think I speak for the entire city when I say, I love you, Big Nick!
And I love you, random citizen.
The bad guys then drive off after a lady that sounds a lot like Aunt Gail from Bob's Burgers screams,
It's the bad guys!
ah yes, my favorite member of the bad guys, Mr. Business. During this chase, I guess, the balloon's rope somehow gets caught on the car, and this ultimately leads to the balloon popping. Rest in peace, Big Nick. Your name made you sound like a barbecue restaurant with excellent dinner rolls. To say that the townspeople did not take this news well would be an understatement.
Christmas is canceled.
What?! It's not like they killed Santa Scott Calvin style. They merely popped a balloon. A symbol of someone who, let's all be adults about this, is a totally real person and will get me a pony this year, mark my word. You know, I was hesitant to say it at first, but it is extremely clear now. These citizens are in a cult. You heard of Satanism? Get ready for Santaism. Seriously, if you look to a Santa balloon as a father figure, then you should really consider making an effort to patch things up with your dad. With the cancellation putting their tradition in jeopardy, the group tries to find a way to save Christmas. After 2 failures to replace Big Nick, including a poor replica and a Santa mech that totally isn't set up for the climax, cross my heart, Wolf devises a plan to boost the Christmas spirit. A plan that makes 0 sense. Wolf's plan is essentially 2 plans. Wolf and Snake rob a store's presents to deliver to random houses, while the rest hack into a radio station to restore Michael Bublé's empire. The first part of the plan is full of issues. For starters, how did they rob a store if the problem was that people were staying at work? Second, why are there just wrapped presents in a store? The only explanation off the top of my head is that they were meant to be donations. I think Wolf and Snake just stole from a charity. Lastly, I know they don't have the time or the resources to give everyone a present, but those who don't receive a present will most likely feel left out and just continue moping. At that point, just put all of your efforts into the radio station heist, even though most people just stream their music these days. Also, why is Piranha a part of the radio heist? He's pretty much the heist equivalent of a kid watching his dad change the oil. Why not help Wolf and Snake with the presents? Isn't he supposed to be the team's muscle? The only reason he's here is so that when the plan fails, he can sing to the town as a backup plan, which this scene is only here because he sung in the original movie. It's just needless fan service, much like Shirtless Shark later in the special. Speaking of Shark, I like that the disc jockey recognized him through his disguise. At least someone has a brain in this city. Despite how stupid the plans were, the presents have been delivered and the music has gotten people back to the holiday spirit. It appears as though things should be wrapping up, but the writers, I mean Mr. Wolf, the writers, think that it's not enough. So the bad guys steal a shaved ice machine to create snow. Also, we learn here that Webbs has the technology to hack the atmosphere, which begs the question of why did she vote for Diane based on her climate change stance? You have the technology! Why do you need her? Make like my brother with a special Diary of a Wimpy Kid book and do it yourself! The snow ends up officially turning the tides and Christmas gets uncancelled. We also get Snake's reaction to all the good they've done, and it confirmed my biggest fears with this special. This ties into my biggest issue with this special, the fact that it's a prequel. Now there's nothing wrong with prequels. The prequel trilogy gave the internet so much joy, and Monsters University sure did deserve the Best Animated Picture Oscar that year a lot more than Frozen. The problem here is that while those examples add something new to their respective franchises, this special adds nothing new outside of the Christmas setting. The bad guys agree to do good deeds in order to continue being bad, but they soon appreciate the good they've done. It's just like the movie minus the redemption, since that would contradict the movie. It's one thing to make a sequel that rehashes the same plot, thereby making itself almost obsolete, but it's another thing to make a prequel that rehashes the same plot point, making the original film almost obsolete. The original movie was about them thinking that they couldn't be good, but they seem perfectly able to do good here. It almost makes the redemption feel like a retread. The most egregious example would be Piranha singing in the special. In the movie, he wants to sing, but is never given the chance until the gala when everyone loves it. Here, he does the same thing with no build-up, yet it garners a similar effect. It sort of makes the gala feel like just another night for him. The warm fuzzies don't last long as Wolf turns the snow machine up way too high, causing a blizzard. Why not? The group starts to blame Wolf for ruining everything, just like the movie, which leads to the sappy holiday special moment where Wolf confesses that he only wanted to go out on their big holiday heist to spend time with the bad guys. Oh really? What is he doing right now? They, of course, forgive him. When none of the team members can reach the machine, Webbs tells Wolf to get in the robot and shut off the snow. I would make a Gundam joke here, but my only experience with the franchise is buying these cheap Gunpla thinking they would be fun and easy to build. I was wrong. I'll be sticking to LEGO Exoforce, thank you very much. In the end, Wolf shuts off the snow, they leave behind Roboclaws for the people, thus creating a new denomination of Santaism. The bad guys all catch colds, ruining their heist. They get presents from Santa for saving Christmas, and as the special, if I can even call it that, comes to a close, I question if the year of anticipation was truly worth it. Not really, but also... not really, sort of. Don't get me wrong, this special is a cash grab. Plain and simple. The animation is good enough. The voice acting is hit and miss. The plot is forced and coupled together with recycled plot lines, Christmas cliches, and duct tape. The humor is either nose exhale worthy or ironically funny, and it adds nothing of value to the franchise. What did we learn from this? Die Hard is a part of the bad guys canon? This special was made for no other reason than to make yet another DreamWorks holiday special and to keep the bad guys relevant in the public conscious until a sequel comes out. Despite all this, I can't be mad at it. It may not be perfect, it's no Christmas caper, so why do I like it? Well, it's like the lady at the start of the special said, it's the bad guys! I love these guys! If there's one redeeming quality of this special, it's getting to see more of the bad guys playing off each other. While I appreciated the movie focusing on Wolf's story and growth, I couldn't help but wish for more time with the other bad guys. In the special, we're given just that. I like seeing Shark and Piranha interact with each other. The filmmakers talked about how they share a close bond, but we rarely see that in the movie, so it was nice to see them supporting one another and calling each other Finbro. Speaking of which, Shark, who I felt got lost in the shuffles in the movie, got to play around a bit more with his role as the Master of Disguise instead of him just obsessing over push pops. The only characterization that bugged me was Tarantula's. While I liked her having a bit of a mad scientist streak, it feels like the writers watered her down to how a 40-year-old thinks teenagers behave, with her saying normie and making air horn noises. Aside from that, the group's chemistry saves this special from being entirely worthless. If this were just another episode of a mediocre TV series, I might not have cared, but since there's such little content of the DreamWorks iteration of these characters, it was great to see them again. It's not a very bad holiday. It's more of a very passable holiday. If you're a fan of the movie, it's a harmless watch. It clocks in at about 22 minutes, so it's not a huge waste of your time. However, if the only thing you liked about the original movie was the very good animation, well, it doesn't have that, so you're better off just watching Puss in Boots' Last Wish again with a snow filter over it. While I did enjoy the special, I will say that it did not make me optimistic for a future Bad Guys TV series. While the animator did say that the animation will improve over time, I'm more so concerned with the storylines. While it does sound to be serialized, which could be interesting, if the synopsis on the casting call is to be believed, it will be a prequel much like this special. That makes me disappointed, since seeing these characters pre-development is just uninteresting for reasons I stated earlier. Not to mention unfunny, as the good thing bad, bad thing good joke got pretty old by the end of the special. My only guess on why all the supplemental material for the series as prequels is that the filmmakers want the Bad Guys 2 to take place right where the original left off, akin to Incredibles 2 or the Lego Movie 2. I get the feeling that DreamWorks' TV department is extremely limited in what they can and can't do with their movie IPs in fear of stepping on the toes of potential movie sequels. For example, in the Puss in Boots TV series, Puss has a completely different love interest, most likely to avoid any TV show development contradicting the sequel. I understand that it might be hard to do, but if they wanted to make an interesting Bad Guys show without overlapping on what the filmmakers want to do, there is a workaround. You know how the bad guys were in prison for a year before being set free at the end? Why not have a series where the bad guys, along with some other reformed anthro-prisoners, are handpicked by the government to join a secret group of anti-heroes who use their criminal know-how to fight other criminals? Like a sort of self-inflicted pain posse. That way you can follow the bad guys post-reform while having them go on missions that won't impact the plots of the films. Either way, I'll probably watch the TV show. I have a feeling that this franchise has a bright future ahead of itself. Considering Disney's performance recently, it will probably be better off than Zootopia. Wait, what's in Shanghai? Oh my Claude! It's beautiful! It looks just like the movie! Look at the animatronics! You can get one of those popsicles! Seriously, Robert, where is this in America? Sorry guys, I gotta leave, short notice. You've been watching the LionDog Show. Have a great day, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stick around for more Shanghai, here I come!